Jen, you're not in a good mood today. Why is that?
Because I feel like I'm freaking out. There is only one person in Congress that, as far as I'm concerned, didn't just sign a fascist resolution. And that's freaking me out.
Yeah, and they're trying to like not cover
one person who didn't sign a resolution declaring that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. So in other words, we are going to declare a revolution that is just factually incorrect, by definition, completely factually incorrect, completely untrue. And they all signed it, except for one person. And who was that one person?
Thomas Massie, because he's the one person who, even though he's libertarian, is truly a principled representative. He says what he means and he means what he says.
They signed a resolution. It would be like if they all signed a resolution saying 2 + 2 = 5.
It doesn't?
It would be like that's what this feels like to me. Like they just all signed a resolution. Not only is it not getting attention, it is by no means getting the amount of attention that this is the new McCarthyism. And I feel like it is being spearheaded by none other than our esteemed representative. You're an anti-Semite, and you're an anti-Semite, and you're an anti-Semite. Well, and it's like, you're basically branding people and scaring people into complying with an offensive genocide by telling them it's a defensive act. That's what's happening. And I will not be gaslit about this. I will not be gaslit about that. And no one else should be either, people. The information is just, it's out there. Everybody should be outraged that their congressperson would actually sign a resolution declaring that anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. That only leads to an increase in real anti-Semitism. That's all that's going to do. You want to keep conflating Jews with oppression of the Zionist state? You are only creating more and more anti-Semitism. That's how brilliant your work is, person who's heading up new commission into anti-Semitism, which to me sounds very, very similar to like the House into the Un-American Acts, or what was it back in the day with McCarthyism? The House Commission on you know what I'm talking about, the McCarthyism. Yeah,
well, it's like to find out who was a spook and who wasn't, or all these just various.
I am telling you, people, this is not the way to go.
Yeah,
it is not the way to go. It is scary. First of all, it's been horrifying to a lot of people that our states actually have anti-BDS legislation on the books, essentially saying that if you choose to speak out using your financial resources against the state of Israel in any way, we can keep you from getting certain contracts with certain municipalities in the state. No other country, we don't have something like that about China. We don't have something like that. Like, that's not a thing. So the fact that you have to so proactively do that, to me, indicates that you really are fearful that the facade is falling apart. When you have to keep trying to do it by military and like force, and you have to be gaslighting people, you're losing. You're losing. But it's so frustrating to me. And so now they all just, and by the way, it was only a few months ago that they signed some resolution that basically swore an eternal oath to Israel, saying Israel is not a racist state. Israel is not an apartheid state. We swear forever and ever to be besties with Israel, XXOOO, right? So they all signed that not that long ago, but that wasn't enough. Now they need to actually sign a resolution that is just non-factual. If you say that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, and what's really frustrating is Jerry Nadler stood up and said something about this.
He did.
But then he ended up signing it. So so in other words, for people in Congress, you're in Congress, you're a congressperson, and somebody puts in front of you to sign something that says 2 + 2 = 5. And they say to you, and if you don't sign that, we're going to primary you.
Now, whatever the reason is that Rashida Tlaib voted present, or it was done in proxy.
She's done enough. This isn't her fight.
Yeah, no. As far as I'm concerned, and there was like 20 representatives that didn't even vote.
By the way, anybody who votes present shouldn't be an option. That shouldn't be an option. Okay, that shouldn't be an option. You're not paid to be present. You're paid to legislate. You're paid to actually do.
Right.
And anybody, yeah, the people who voted present, pathetic. Really pathetic. What does that mean?
Well, that was it. It was only one present vote. It was from Rashida Tlaib.
I thought there were a few other people were there people that abstained?
414 votes altogether. 412 voted yes, 1 no, 1 present. The 1 present was Rashida Tlaib,
Okay.
and there were 21 votes that were not that just abstained.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the coward. That's the
now,
cowards.
of course, they call it abstaining from the vote, but the people who abstained from the vote are considered those who actually voted no, which is why they put out the entire bracket of the 17 progressives in Congress, including AOC, Ayanna Pressley, Ilhan Omar, Cori Bush, Summer Lee, and the like.
But why didn't they vote no?
Don't know. Don't know.
That is what I would like to have an answer to. If somebody has a logical answer to me as to why you wouldn't vote no, but you would abstain.
Well, apparently...
Are these people paid to abstain?
Well, apparently Representative Jamal Bowman is the first of the members of the squad, if you will, that does have a primary challenger from AIPAC. The gentleman, he's basically... he is so transparently a hired gun and nothing more that when they created his website for him to run for Congress, he only addresses that he's running to represent Westchester and not the Bronx. That's not a mistake. That's done on purpose. And this is kind of where we're at. We're at a point now where the entire system is exposing itself. It is showing not just the cracks, but the sunlight is breaking through.
I just don't understand. I don't understand. Why would you abstain and not vote no? I don't understand how everybody can, other than Thomas Massie apparently, thinks it's okay to just have factual inaccuracy in a resolution and just all get on board with that. It's really scary to me. Well, this is really scary. Okay.
Look at all of the presidents of the Ivy League institutions that are now basically doing a mea culpa about how guilty they are for allowing their students to express their First Amendment rights because they don't support what's going on in Israel. But unfortunately, because the Jewish billionaire class, which runs so many of these endowments of these major institutions, have basically said, we will pull our money if you do not get your student body in line. And so they're going on an apology tour, more or less, to say that everybody's an anti-Semite because they're saying, but this is what it's about. It's all about money and power. This is not, everyone's looking for some complicated reason as to why a person votes this way or that way. No, there's nothing complicated about it. This is all about money and power. And that's how the Israel lobby has conducted its business for a long time.
To me, people, if you can't take a stand on it, if you're willing to actually sign a resolution that says something that is completely factually inaccurate because you're bullied into doing so, you ought not be in that position. You're not strong enough to be in that position. That's what I think. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.